Hi, my name is Pastor Terry Blanchette, and we are here today at Focus on Dakota Life with Sherry Hawking from the Newell Ambulance Service here in Butte County. And we're getting ready to do a fundraiser on Labor Day to raise finances for our ambulance service. But I wanted the Newell people and people in the surrounding area to be more aware of our ambulance service and some of the details and the things that go on. So Sherry, I just welcome you with us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to have you back with us. I would like to ask you just a few questions. I did a Google search and I found out that in Butte County we have about 2,250 square miles. And we've only have 2 ambulance services that cover all of those square miles, one being in Belfouche and one being here in Newell. Can you kind of just share with us this morning some of the dynamics of all of the space that you cover, the funding and how you receive finances for that, and some of the things that you face the ambulance service overall?
Sure. First, thank you for having us.
Yep.
The ambulance service is excited about the fundraiser. Historically, there's never enough money for ambulance services. We're not reimbursed. People think we charge a lot, but insurances, Medicare, Medicaid, Blue Cross Blue Shield, they all have a set amount that they will pay, and it's nowhere near what it costs us to provide ambulance service. Usually, we figured out every time an ambulance rolls out the door, you're $300 right there. Medicaid pays just a little over $200 is their reimbursement, so we're already in the hole. So we do have 2 ambulance services, Belfouche and Newell. We cover from like the Arpan Road all the way to Mud Butte, going east. North, we go to Harding County. We've been over into Harding County to get a patient, and then we go south to the Butte County, Meade County line. So we have a lot of highly rural area where we cover.
Yeah.
Our transports average about 2.5 hours, depending on if we're not too far away from Newell. By the time we transport to Sturgis or to Spearfish, Fort Meade, and then we get back. So it's hard. It's hard on people. You're away from home. And people just aren't getting into this profession anymore, so we're always looking for staff that would like to take an EMT course, become an EMT, help out the service. But we do cover a lot, and our requests have increased every year for the last 5 years. We had our highest, we had 216 requests last year. But we also do a lot for the community. You know, we do a lot of standbys. We cover school functions. We cover rodeos. We do a lot of things also to give back to the community because we appreciate the support.
So when you do those types of things for the community, the rodeo, the school events, is there any support financially to do those, or is that strictly a volunteer thing on your part?
So due to workman's comp, last year we had to start charging to do our standby events. The only one that we do not charge for is Labor Day. We do not charge to be down at the rodeo for Labor Day. Otherwise, we charge for everybody else to be there, but we give back to the Labor Day, to the community club for Labor Day. But yeah, workman's comp kind of tied our hands and said, if you're working, you gotta be charging. So we had to go back and start billing. So we bill the school a nominal fee. Yep.
When we have this fundraiser now, what will the finances, how will this help you and your service to this huge area that you cover? How will that empower you really to do?
So Butte County Ambulance Service is under what is called a tri-party agreement. And that means that we get funding from Butte County, we get funding from the city of Belfouche, and we get funding from the city of Newell.
Okay.
And so we do our budget and we figure out how much we think we're going to need to make it and be in the black at the end of the year with all of our expenses, our supplies, our salaries, all of those things. And then we go back, and so Butte County pays 45% of that, the city of Belfouche pays 45%, and the city of Newell pays 10%. And part of that is the city of Newell owns our building.
Okay.
And they pay for our electricity and our water and our heat. So their percentage, and we don't have as many runs as Belfouche does. So then by doing fundraisers, we earmark money for what we're looking towards. And we have tried a 5-year plan through through Butte County Ambulance. And Newell is next to get a new ambulance. So our oldest ambulance is a 2002. It's got a little over 100,000 miles on it, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a lot when you're going up and down these gravel roads. And we pull a lot with all of our equipment.
Yes.
Like on the end, you know, all of our batteries and everything, because we have a lot of equipment in there. So right now, we're earmarking fundraising money to go towards, to help with our new ambulance, so that I don't have to go back and hit the budget so hard when it comes time for us to get our new ambulance.
Yes.
So,
Awesome.
yeah, so that's where we've earmarked the money to go, is that we will put it towards our new ambulance. Belfouche just got, and unfortunately they got their first new ambulance, or remounted. We do remounted ambulances, so new chassis, and then they redo the whole box. And then their second ambulance went down, and they had to, so then they ended up getting 2 right in a row, and so ours is next, and we're supposed to get it in 2 years.
Wow.
So we're planning. Yeah.
So let me ask you about the employment aspect of the ambulance service, because in our conversations that you and I've had, you've talked about the fact that it's the ambulance service everywhere across the United States is suffering because you can't find people to come on board because the wages are so low. And now, you know, the new phase across America is, you know, that you can work at slinging hamburgers for $18 an hour some places in the cities, and maybe $15 out here. So can you just share a little bit about that? How does that affect us now in our present day here in Newell?
Absolutely. So it's unfortunate. I mean, the state law reads that if you have an ambulance service, you have to respond 24/7. So you don't really have a day off. But it's everywhere. It's like Sturgis just upped their rates to try to get people in. But you think about paramedics that can push drugs and save your life, or EMTs that can come out and do CPR and save your life. And we get paid less than you get paid to sling hamburgers.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to give up your life. You have to be there so that the ambulance rolls.
Yeah.
So we just went to call pay. This will be our 2nd year that we've been on call pay, where people can sign up for call. You're paid a small amount of money to just say you'll be here. And then if you go on a call, then you're paid at your regular wage till you come back, and then you come back off of that and go back onto call pay to help compensate people and know that we have people in the area that will answer a call when it's needed.
So it really ties you down to this area. You have to stay local pretty much.
If you go on
times.
Yep, if you go on call, you have to be able to respond to that call in 10 minutes.
Wow.
15 minutes 90% of the time that ambulance has to roll.
Yeah.
So we try to say within 10 minutes you need to be at that hall, because someone needs you. Someone's having a pretty bad day and they need you.
Yes.
And that's the thing about ambulance services, is they're not important to people until you need one.
Yeah.
And then if you need one, then you don't want to lose your ambulance service out of your community.
No, you don't. No.
And the other thing that most people don't understand is ambulance services are not an essential service. So an ambulance service can shut their door. They can call the state, give them 24 hours notice and say, we're closing our doors tomorrow. And there's nothing they can do. So people don't realize we're not essential. Fire departments are essential, police officers are essential, but ambulance services are not. And we stepped up and helped cover NVN Senior Center for over 2 years. We helped cover Bison when Bison shut down. Thankfully, they're all back open, so we
Yes.
don't have to go that far, but it was a long ways to go.
Yeah, Bison's what, 2 hours?
Yeah, it's a long ways. It's
Yeah.
like, wow. Yep.
Well, I just tell you, Sherry, that as a pastor in this community, I just really, really appreciate what you're doing. The people who work at our ambulance service, the sacrifices that you make, and the fact that you deem it so valuable. That is so important. And so, is there anything else you'd like to share with us before we go today?
I think, you know, for our crew, the people do it because they love what they're doing. They want to give back to the community. They really do want to give back to the community, or you wouldn't do it. I mean, there's just, otherwise you just wouldn't do it.
Right.
But we're just our own little family, and we love what we do, and greatly love what the community does for us. You know, people support us through the Festival of Trees fundraiser, and then now through this fundraiser. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, well, it's an honor to be a part of something like that. Well, I just want to let everybody know out there that on Labor Day, we are doing a lunch at the NVN Senior Center. It'll be from 11 o'clock to 1:30. We are serving sloppy joes, a coleslaw, potato chips, a bottle of water, and cookies for $8 for adults, $5 for children, and we will have hot dogs available for the children who don't like the sloppy joes. And all of the money that is taken in that day for that lunch is going to our ambulance service. We are also raffling off a half a beef or a side of beef, and it is from our local meat shop here in Nisland. And you can get tickets from different people here in the community, from the ambulance service themselves. And we are selling the tickets for one for $10, three for $20. And again, all of that money is going to be going to the ambulance service to be a blessing to them. And as a church family, Dakota Life Christian Center, we just had it in our hearts to come along beside you this year and be a blessing to you because, and give to you because you give back to the community. And so if you would like to be a part of that, we want to encourage you on Labor Day to come out and be a part of that and to eat some good food and hopefully get a side of beef. I mean, what more could you want, right?
It'll be wonderful, and we will be there.
Yes. Absolutely. So anyway, God bless you, and thank you, Sherry.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. We appreciate that. We appreciate what you're doing for us.
Thank you.